3, 2, 1. Hey everybody. Hey, it's me again. I just thought today I'd show you a little bit about what I'm doing. You know, I haven't done a lot of videos, and the reason why is maybe I'm under the misconception that what I do day to day is really just not that interesting because I'm used to doing it day to day. I've been told that, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not thinking quite right. So here's what I'm going to do. Today we've got some, and one of those chores is we're going to deliver some firewood to my neighbor. And I have some firewood. My other neighbor and some other people help me collect firewood and throughout the year, and I get this for free. I cut it up. My neighbor helps me cut it up sometimes, and then I'll take and split it, and then like this bundle of wood I'll take to her. We've got a little bit of a cool snap we just got, and I'll take this over to her so that she can use, because that's one of her primary sources of heat. I've also got some friends of mine who are elderly, and I help them out, and that's a blessing for me to be able to do that. Now, one of the things I'm doing, y'all let me know what you think about this, is I get these old totes from work, and what I want to do on this one is I want to come in here and I'm going to cut right around here like so, just like that. I'm going to cut that off of there, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to stack firewood inside of there, because then it's going to encapsulate it. The only thing I'm afraid of is it'll kind of promote mold, so maybe I'll punch some holes in the side or something for airflow. But and then y'all heard me talk about these forks on the front of my tractor. I tell you what, I am so happy with these, even though they're used or bent a little bit. For my purposes, they have just been the cat's meow, I'll tell you what. And I just use that to pick it up. I'm going to pick this up, carry it over to the neighbor on the forks, put it wherever she wants it, and bring it back, fill it up again. This log splitter, hey, it's done its job. This is just we bought this on Amazon. I don't remember how much we paid for it, but I was splitting by hand, and then also I had a little small electric log splitter. I think it was a 2-ton or a 3-ton log splitter, and it did the job, but it got kind of scary sometimes. That thing would bind up, and all of a sudden it let loose, and that log go flying somewhere. So that got kind of hairy. Those I think are good for making kindling and things like that. So you can see my log pile, and then also to do the neighborly thing, and because we love our neighbors, and we're gonna take her some eggs from the chickens. Take her a few eggs, and remember, when you're using the forks, you need to have a counterweight. Here I've got my box blade on there. That thing weighs probably 300 or 400 pounds. Got some pretty good sized logs. A friend of mine, he lives a little ways away. I got to get out there and finish getting that wood he was good enough to give me. And then we've got a little pile of wood from last year that I've got to get cleaned up and get out of there for, you know, probably end up having to rehome some snakes. And then here's a log pile that I put out here to dry, and I need to start cutting it up as soon as I get this log pile worked down. It's just a matter of getting time to do that. Some of y'all know my work schedule changed, and I'm just getting adjusted to it, and it'll be all right. You know, Lord will bless it, and we'll move on. And but we're going to get this pile worked down, split up, and use, because in addition to my friends that we supply wood to, it's also my primary source of heat. So we're going to get that done. And you know what? There's one other thing I'd like to talk to y'all about. Let's walk down here to the pond, and we'll have a little bit of conversation down by the pond. You know, me and a friend of mine went over to his house last week after church service and had a great meal. Hung out a little bit with him and his kids, and we talked. We found ourselves out. We ended up sitting on tailgate and leaning on the bed of a truck, If you think about it, how many problems have been solved by leaning on the bed of a truck, sitting on a tailgate, having a conversation? Too many times we don't want to sit on the bed of a tailgate and have a conversation and see what somebody else thinks. We just want to just jump up and make an assumption, or assume this or assume that, or take this position or that position, instead of sitting on the tailgate, listening to what somebody's got to say. 2020 has been ugly, and I think all of y'all agree with me. But you know what? God is in control. And if we'll allow God to be in control, we'll be amazed at what will happen. The political stage right now is totally divided. I think everybody agree with me on that. And regardless of what side you stand on, it is what it is. We've got to deal with it. But again, if we'll rely on God and trust that God has a plan, that's one of the hardest things we do, is trust, isn't it? You know what? Another word for trust is faith. And if we'll have the faith and we'll move forward, do what we need to do, and treat people right, regardless of where they stand, treat people right, you'd be amazed at how this country and this world and even your own personal circle would tighten up and come together. You don't have to like somebody to be right to somebody, okay? You don't have to agree with their political views. And just because you disagree with their political views doesn't mean you have to hate them. That's totally wrong. How are you going to convince them or even point out your point of view if you treat them like dirt? You're not going to. Or if you tell them how stupid they are, you're not going to. Because you know what? They think the same thing about you. Think about that for a minute. Just because you disagree doesn't mean you have to be enemies. So many wars have been started over stupid stuff. So many people have died needlessly over stupid stuff because they disagreed about something that really didn't matter, or they couldn't control it anyway. So, hey, you know what? God loves each and every one of you. Whether you agree with him or not, he still loves you. You know what? I love y'all too. Y'all have a blessed and awesome day. Go out and treat somebody right. Maybe brighten up somebody's day. Hey, God bless. Be good. Bye-bye.